Hello, video day update day 11. So today I thought I'd show you how I do a water change. Everything's doing fine. Shrimp's constantly foraging. The new growth is continuing to show itself. The Polysperma rosenervig still looks haggard, but does have new growth coming. Confident there. I don't know if I'll be able to show you through the top of the water, but the Coriambosa has a bunch of new growth coming straight up the center as well. So everything's looking here. Seems to be doing alright. Hasn't started to wither or melt hard. I cleaned corkscrew out last water change. So it looks a little thinner back there, looks a little better, a little greener. Everything seems to be coming along nicely. So the water change. I got a chunk of sponge, I just cut a hole in and I shoved my line through there. This is a half-inch inside diameter line, and I just twist tie it here with a couple ties to keep it from sliding out. I like to keep my thermometer right up front so I know where I'm at when I go to balance my temperature. And then the line I just run to the sink. And then to get it started, you just draw on it a little bit. Whoops. And when you see the water coming, put it back down. And then Jess loves this. I take one of her pans and holds the hose in there just nicely. And I do have this other contraption which goes on there for the refill. I think this cost me 13 bucks to build at the hardware store. Key was this piece that fits on the faucet. Gets you to half-inch garden hose. Pretty standard threading. Once you get the half-inch garden hose on the faucet, then you're pretty much universal for all this PVC and copper fitting stuff. So that's how I fill the tank. But now that I'm looking at it, maybe I need to get a PVC fitting instead of a copper one now that I have invertebrates. So apparently shrimp don't like copper. And even having water passing over copper can cause leaching, but I think that's from the hot water tank primarily is the main concern. Hot water in the tank, leaching the copper out of the insulator and stuff. So yeah, so there we have the water change. And I'll let her drain down to here because I'm thinking about doing about a 30% change. Now that I'm on day 11, day 14 saturated. And while this is going, I do all my tests, and then if the tests come back that I need to take out more water, I just lower the hose, start the siphon again, and we're back in business. But I don't imagine the test will be any different than yesterday. Anticipate ammonia will be low to non-existent, low nitrite, and low nitrate. So really, nitrate is the reason I'm still dumping water out of this thing. Because as for the clarity, the water is great. Everything's green and growing. I think we're past any critical stages of catastrophe. As of yet, no real algae growth. This stuff here, I'm pretty sure is a mold or a fungus. I've covered it before. I've seen the shrimp been picking at it. But it's like a fine layer of almost like velvet over top of the wood. It's not quite white. It's sort of grayish transparent. I'm pretty sure it's just a fungus or a mold that's feeding off the decomposing sugars in the wood and stuff. So that's that. The little experiment tank is still going. Still don't know what's floating in there. Those two floaters. But everything's off right now, so that's why I don't see the flow. But I did want to show the repens. I can't really tell. But the repens is really taking color on the top. Getting nice and red. So there we have it. There's day 11. Everything's looking good. I'm excited to get some cherry shrimp. I want to get a bunch of cherry shrimp in here and learn more and more about shrimp and get them molting and growing to a size where I can have a pretty stable colony once I introduce fish. Hopefully. We'll give it a go. So we're going to run a bit of a species tank for a while, just a shrimp tank for a while. And then I think we're going to add some bottom dwellers and some tetras and then get back on track with our plan for the bioload. Like to get snails next, actually. Malaysian trumpet snails and cherry shrimp. That's next on the bioload list. Hopefully this weekend. Okay, tomorrow's day 12. I gotta test my water chem.